This next article from the New York Post: four are arrested in Charlotte on the third night of protest ahead of the Republican National Convention. Here we can see a picture of the police officers arresting what appears to be a black looter mob rioter. Riots broke out on the streets of Charlotte, North Carolina on Sunday for third straight night of riots or demonstrations that turned into riots. That prompted police to use pepper spray and arrest four people ahead of the RNC, which kicks off Monday. According to a report, more than 100 people split up into groups of about 15 after ... So I don't know if I should call them riots. They didn't seem to have a lot of people engaging in stuff like that, but this group of people has been rioting for months. So it's not a riot just because it's the next night or you went to a different city. There's like multi-month riots. It's still a riot. It's still the same riot. Does not matter that there's a different police shooting that happened during that period of time, because there's once you've done your protest and you've rioted, like that's it for your protest. You turned into a riot. And if you go home and then you come like get some sleep and you come home the next day to riot again, that does not make it a different protest or a peaceful protest. It actually makes it a multi-day riot. Currently, we're at a 3-month-long riot. More than 100 people split up into groups of about 15 after gathering in Marshall Park late Sunday, the Charlotte Observer reported. They marched uptown and chanted, quote, "No RNC in CLT," end quote, and, quote, "F Donald Trump," end quote. So as you can see, these people do not endorse free speech. They do not want Donald Trump to speak there. It's because they're neo-fascist. Hold on. What is a neo? A neo-fascist is a new type of... Okay, so I'm different. My definition of a neo-fascist is somebody who acts like a fascist today. Right? The new fascist. So the new fascist is going to be someone who acts like the old fascist, only today. And what did the old fascist act like? Liberals. They were socialists. They were absolutely 100% socialists. Europe was socialist back then. They were straight up almost communist. In fact, half of Europe was communist for a long time. The USSR took over because Hitler invaded Russia. He was on the same side as Russia. And then Hitler invaded the Balkan oil fields because he was running out of food and gas. And then Russia turned onto the Axis side, and people think that communism is diametrically opposed to Nazism because Russia fought Germany at the end of World War II, but that completely neglects the fact that they were on the same side and they were both socialists. They were all socialist. So that means one thing: they're a socialist, they're a lefty. So they say they're far right because they believed in steep social hierarchy to overcome Marxism, the failures of Marxism, and that they wanted a dictatorship. But this does not mean they're not liberal. Like, absolutely does not mean they're not liberal at all. That just means the hierarchical configuration. That's completely different than whether or not you're fighting for equality for your people. Whether or not you're fighting for equality for all people, or you're fighting for the ability for us to compete, and then when we compete, then that will be the equalizing force. That's two different takes on equality. It's absolutely not that the Nazis were opposed to liberalism because they wanted a steep social hierarchy. No, that's not how it works. No, you're a liberal if you believe in equality, in the things not being, or if you're against inequality. That's the point. That is the fundamental reason why Nazis are liberals, is because they were against class inequality. That's the key feature of their ideology. So, yeah, I would definitely say that these people are spitting definitions of neo-fascist. They definitely do not want our democratic elections. They want their dictator. They want their dictators are the science cult and the ivory tower liberal journalists. Their dictators are the ivory tower liberals. That's the ruling class that controls the Democrats. The people that sit up top, they ivory tower, preaching policies to get you to like the post, buy the product, vote for them. Oh, hold on. Like the post, watch the ad, buy the product, and vote for them. And that definitely, the structure that they have, we call them ivory tower liberals. I mean, ivory tower, ivory, elephants, brutal, savage, racist Democrats. Democrats owned slaves. They started KKK. When you saw a person being brutal and savage back in the day, it was probably in America. It was probably a Democrat being brutal and savage. So they gathered near the Westin Charlotte's Hotel, where delegates were staying, according to the news outlet. Trump and Vice President Mike Pence are expected to be in Charlotte for the RNC first night Monday, when delegates assemble in the Charlotte's Convention Center to officially nominate the 2020 GOP ticket. The protesters later marched back to, I don't care about it anymore. We saw the goddamn thing. I don't want to give these people any more lip service. These people suck, dude. I can't stand them. That was it for me. Thanks for watching Real Simple News on what was 8:24, but this turned into some really, really crazy long show. How long was it? Wow, 5 hours. Got to give it to me. Being able to sit up here and blab for 5 hours, that is actually quite a skill. But yes, thank you for watching. And I really do appreciate anybody who actually watched for a prolonged period of time. Every single like, every single subscribe, every single comment, every single criticism. You can thrash me if you want. I am a big man. I thrash the left and right, so I am expecting to get that back. But I'm a big man. I have a spine. I have a muscles in my back, and I can actually carry weight. So that would be water off a duck's back. Anything that you have to say bad about me, I've heard people say these things. They typically they come from people that other people hate too. That's the reason why they're saying these things, is because they're haters, and not many people really like haters. So, hate on, man. That's cool. You should leave a comment on realsimplenews.net/issue 80 about how much of a whiny little liberal pussy you are. Because you know that you are going to need Kleenex for being a whammon, a Wafrican, and a Wasian. So if you would like to cry me rivers of lip tears, you can do so at realsimplenews.net/issue 90, where you are free to thrash me. I can take it, and I will return fire. It will be a annihilation of, metaphorically. Definitely will. I think that you will find that my tongue is very scathing, and that I will rip you a new one, and you will look like an idiot. So I would endorse you to try to start some with me, and you will see that I will finish it and make you look like a punk. Thank you again. You've been watching Captain Kabuki, captain of the Kabuki Starship, reads you really simple syndication news articles from the intellectual dark web, or the intellectual black web, as some people call it. because I would definitely have to say, compared to Brett Weinstein, he looks compared to Brett Weinstein, he looks like a pussy compared to me. This is straight up intellectual dark web. You ain't dark web unless you talk about white genocide and Democrat KKK and fascists and neo-Nazis and shit. Like, dude, you know, Brett Weinstein ain't dark web, dude. Not at all. Anyways, thank you. Until next time, farewell, sayonara, aloha, peace be with you, and Godspeed in your journeys.